Thanks for joining me, Aries. It's December 2015. I'm Dadhichi Toth from astrology.com.au. I'm going to jump ahead because we're only 1 month away from January 2016, and of course that generally means people are going to make their New Year's resolutions. But let me put this to you, that before you can make a New Year's resolution, you really need to be able to figure out what that resolution is going to be and for what reason. You have 3 planets in your ninth house. Ninth house has a lot to do with the higher mind, the lifting up of the spirit to a better grade of self, if I could put it that way. Ninth house is also past karma. So, before you make resolutions, you tend to retrospectively go over your behavior, your thinking, your relationships, and try to identify clearly what it is you want to change in your life. That's the significance of not only the Saturn, Sun and Mercury combination that has been occurring in your ninth house right now. The month commences with a lovely trine aspect of the moon. So you're feeling this as well. And there will be a new moon on the 12th in Sagittarius in that ninth house. So we see there's a lot of focus on that retrospective thinking, that consideration of self prior to you making any sort of long-term commitments to resolve to not do those behaviors again, or to improve yourself in this area or that. So I think this is a very, very significant month. And the outcome of that later, if I could jump ahead to the 26th, is that the full moon takes place in your 4th house. And the 4th house, unknown to many astrologers, has a lot to do with your inner peace. So by working through these issues this month, going back through time, not just recent time, but this could even be your earlier life, you can find those fractures, as I use that term in the introductory video today, to find what it is that's causing perhaps your self-sabotage, your inability to be successful. And as a result of that, that full moon should give you a much greater sense of inner satisfaction, a reclamation of your energies and your power, and your ability to clearly perceive what it is you want in 2016 and beyond. You have troubles in your relationships this month. Last month I mentioned the Venus transiting over Mars in your 7th house of relationships. Your ruling planet Mars is in that western part of the horoscope now, which indicates your strong need to connect with others, but that power that you exhibit, that dominance that is a part of your personality, is in a bit of trouble this month, because you can sometimes try to enforce your opinions on others. That could backfire. Especially, let me have a look here. I've got the transit list here. So if I'm looking away from you, I'm not being rude. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what's going on for you right now. And we see the impending opposition of Mars to Uranus, which, let's have a look here. That takes place exactly on the 11th of the month. So leading up to that, there could be some explosive moments. You need to be very, very careful that you don't piss other people off, especially your nearest and dearest. If you're married, that could be a signal of some unexpected blowback. So take care around those days. There is another hard aspect preceding that on the 6th. That's as tough. It's a square aspect from Mars to Pluto, which is culminating right now. It's right at the upper part of your horoscope. That we've talked about before. Some of these transits I'll be repeating myself over the coming months because they are such long and slow cycles that they remain in that one sign for so long. But it's these faster moving planets that are going to trigger the influences there. And this one is in your 10th house of career. So Mars can really activate the destructive element that is inherent in the planet Pluto. And the fact that it's in your 10th house of career is also one that you need to be careful of around those dates. There's another opposition there to the natal sign, your sun sign. That's a bit loose because we don't know exactly what date you're born in, Aries, but generally that is showing us right now the opposition to your sun sign all through this month. So do be careful of how you deal with your business partnerships, your marital partnerships, your relationships generally, if you want things to go smoothly. Jupiter continues at around 20 degrees in the 6th house of Virgo for you. Very, very close conjunction coming shortly to the what's called the North Node. The North Node and Jupiter, we call this in Hindu astrology Guru Chandala Yoga. It can radically shift your perception of things. It can create, I suppose, a new path for you. This is occurring in your 6th house, which is to do with your workplace environment. What you do in your workplace, how you work, how you expand yourself and feel good in your work. It also has to do with your co-workers. But I also think there may be some link here, given that Jupiter co-rules your 12th house of sicknesses and expenditure and privation. It may have something to do with your health. And 6th house has to do with health and how you deal with that and how that's connected very much to your workplace practices and also the workplace co-workers. Because you know as well as I do that sometimes it's not, the workplace itself is sort of an innocuous thing unless you're breathing in monoxide fumes, but the actual environment is the people you work with. And if you're lucky enough to work with people that are enhancing your experience of work, that are working cohesively with you as a team, uplifting you, respecting you, then of course your health is going to really do well in those circumstances. Yet it's obvious that if the reverse is true, then that's where you need to be careful. And if you're working with toxic individuals, that's part of the issue you're going to have this month. Now, given you all the bad news, I guess you want some good news. Let's take a look at the trine aspect on the 9th from the Sun to Uranus. That's excellent for unexpected journeys, higher studies, and just basically working at being yourself, not being afraid to step out of the historic view you've had of yourself or what others have of you, being progressive in your thinking, and just allowing yourself to try different things to see how that actually works. Don't move forward in fear, I say. You need to move forward in love and with courage and trust as well, because believe it or not, as difficult as things may be, the universe does uplift you, and whatever happens is ultimately for your own good. The Sun is in trine aspect as well, leading up to the 12th, but again, that's to your sun sign throughout the whole month. You could be overdoing it on the 14th when we see the Sun in the square aspect to Jupiter. That's the period when that health advice that I've just given you might blow up in your face. So take care around that time and don't overwork and overdo things. We see the conjunctions of Mercury to Pluto on the 19th in your career sector. Mercury moves into that 10th house on the 10th. So a lot of communication, a lot of activity. That will accelerate things in your working life during that cycle. Capricorn, your career sector is a friendly sign for Mercury. So your thinking could be concretized. It could become a lot more stabilized. And the way you communicate to others should be a little more conservative. So juxtapose that against that progressive element that I was talking about with Uranus, and somewhere along the way you'll find that perfect balance. Sun also moves to the 10th house. These are all excellent opportunities to really propel forward in your work. That happens around the 22nd. That's called the ingress. It's a very important one. And for you, it happens in your career sector. And we will see over the next month that conjunction of the Sun to Pluto. That's a pretty big one, very, very intense. There could be some power politics going on in your workplace. Be careful of that. We also see the stationary direct movement of Uranus in your sun sign on the 26th. That element of progressive action and thinking and relationship could also come to a head at that time. One of the last aspects that you have to be careful of, you may want to be very combative, you may want to put forward your opinion in a forceful manner leading up to the 29th. Do so with caution. Be soft and gentle, and be careful how you package all that information. Venus moves to the 9th, final aspect for you, Aries, in December on the 30th. That's lovely for travel, for study, generally feeling good about traveling in different environments and cultivating a new connection with different cultures, different people. So that's lovely, especially for the festive season. And by the way, I do wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for putting up with me, I was going to say, listening to what I've got to share with you. Hopefully it's been helpful throughout 2015. I hope you'll continue to join me here in 2016. Visit the website, astrology.com.au, for lots more. And I'll see you in the new year. Take care. Good luck. Don't drink too much vodka. Bye-bye.